The series' primary protagonists were introduced and their jobs were revealed in the previous episode, The Company You Keep. Charlie and Emma, two conmen seeking refuge from their unfaithful spouses at a pub, met. Charlie was a CIA agent and Emma was a conman. After their weekend together, they returned to their own worlds, where Charlie must prevent his family from going bankrupt and Emma must find and apprehend a drug dealer. Patrick McGuire, the dealer Charlie had stolen money from early on, is arrested by Emma and her crew while Daphne, Patrick's accountant, looks for Charlie and his family to recover the stolen money. The Company You Keep. While the primary plot of Episode 2 starts with the Nicoltes attending an auction, Episode 2 opens with a brief recap from the previous episode, alerting the audience on what had previously happened. They made the choice to take a necklace from the Ellsworth family, who placed the top offer at this auction and spent $500,000 to buy it. When Birdie learned that the jewelry was being sold and purchased by the same individual, which could only indicate money laundering, she decided to dig for additional information about them. When Leo spoke with the Ellsworth's driver to try to learn more, Fran and Charlie maintained watch at the auction. The Nicoltes made the decision to go after the Ellsworths in order to obtain the alleged black diamond necklace that they had purchased. They began planning their theft since it would result in quick money, and enough to pay off Daphne when she arrived to collect payment. In addition to letting them know when she will be coming back to get the money, Daphne enters their bar and threatens the family by glancing at Birdie's daughter. Charlie attempts to control the situation by negotiating for extra time, but Daphne won't bend and insists on 3 days. The Nicoltes complete their preparations before beginning their robbery, but not before they research Daphne briefly to identify her areas of vulnerability. Charlie was scheduled to take Emma out on a date the evening before the auction, and Emma took care of her part of the arrangements and arrived at the restaurant where they were to meet. Charlie, however, had arrived late to the auction while tying up loose ends so as to go unobserved, which had almost made a bad impression on Emma. When they exited the restaurant, they had a somewhat stilted and unpleasant talk before moving on to other things. They had to stop making out since Emma's brother's campaign advertising for the Senate elections had destroyed the atmosphere. They decided to take a rain check because Daphne had decided to pay a visit at the bar to discuss their payment methods, while Emma had just moved back in with her parents and had to return to support her brother's small victory. Daphne has been under Emma's surveillance for some time. She hurried to the hotel to take care of the camera installation as soon as she had the go-ahead to do so in Daphne's room. Charlie, meantime, had little trouble entering Daphne's room thanks to Birdie's information. In order to learn more about Daphne's vulnerability, Birdie tracked down the precise hotel where she stayed by following her. Charlie pretended to be the housekeeping as he rapidly searched every crevice for something that would give the Nicoltes the advantage. He discovered a journal with a photo of a woman who was expecting. Charlie mistakenly identified Emma as Daphne and decided that he wanted to go. He instantly emailed a snapshot of that image to Birdie and was going to urge her to look for information. When Emma swiftly attached the gadget and began to keep an eye on her, Birdie assisted him in escaping. Despite the fact that they were in the same room, Charlie managed to flee, so they were unaware of one another. In the hotel room, Charlie discovers an old photograph of a woman who appears to be Daphne's mother. Later, the Nicoltes begin pursuing the Ellsworths after Leo chooses to masquerade as a well-known fashion and art photographer in order to catch Lady Ellsworth's eye. Charlie's fast thinking to tie the genuine necklace to Ellsworth's dog, Duchess, after switching it with the false one and hiding it in the safe at the last second saved them from almost failing to carry out the robbery. But when Duchess is summoned, the others are discouraged by the botched theft while Duchess delivers the necklace without incident. Birdie discovered that the necklace was an antique that had been stolen from India, and that the Indian government was on the hunt for it as they were going to sell it. They are able to utilize this knowledge to gain the valuable necklace from the Ellsworths in return for $500,000 in cash. Otherwise, they would not have received a dime and would have been put in jail if they had tried to sell it. Charlie then completes Daphne's payment, leaving the Nicoltes with a $14.5 million debt. Leo glances at the photograph of Daphne's mother and immediately recognizes the place while Charlie unwinds and flips through the image. They decipher the information Daphne was hiding pretty soon as they figure out that she is, in fact, Patrick McGuire's daughter. Daphne, meantime, had discovered that Emma had been pursuing her, so she led the FBI on a joyous pursuit to an empty cargo that contained the tapping device that had been put in her room. Emma had obtained permission to install the tapping device because she had discovered that Daphne intended to bail out Patrick and manage the shipments while he was in jail. But her preparations came to a crashing halt when Daphne appeared to be one step ahead of her. Daphne had successfully kept the cash flow running while also handling the shipments and figuring out the mastermind behind Patrick's arrest, all to win Patrick's trust so that he would hand her the keys to the business instead of Connor, her brother. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe, and give us a like.